what's up guys, and thanks for tuning into the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Saint Seiya Saint Cloth Myth EX Aries Mu Revival. But before we get started, if you haven't yet already done so, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another awesome review. Now, starting off with the box, first we got a nice picture of Mu on the front here, and here we also have his apprentice, Kiki, and that's actually one of the, I guess, the special items that came with this revival set. Now in the background we see the Aries constellation, we have the Saint Cloth Myth EX logo down here, we got the nice starry background. On the side we got Mu showcasing one of his signature attacks, the Starlight Extinction. On the other side we have the Aries Cloth. On the top we have this big star here. On the bottom we have a bunch of words and things that I don't really understand. And on the back we see all the different product shots for this character. Excuse my big glowing halo here. See, we got Kiki, we got the Aries Cloth mode, and here we also got a different variation. Now this is the anime variation of how this cloth looks. And here we got him getting ready to attack, doing a squat Kamehameha stance, which I'll actually get into a little bit later. We have him with his helmet, we got the different faces, as well as we got the cloth repair tools. And here we see the name Aries Mu. So yeah, that's pretty much for the outside of the box. Now with all of these old Gold Saint as well as the Bronze Saint boxes, the outside sleeve actually comes off, and if we move this off to the side, here we can actually see a design for the cloth box. Now, this box has a significance in the show, and that is this houses the actual cloth. It is what they would use to store their cloths or even transport it via straps, and they would carry it on their backs as like a backpack. So yeah, we see the Aries head up front. We got the ram with the horns. On the side here we just got designs. On the other side we got a nice design here. And on the other side, just the same. Top was just that star, and bottom is what we already saw. So that's it for the box. Let's get this out of the way. And as usual, we're going to start off with the cloth. So here we have the Aries Cloth mode. Now, just bringing it in close, we see it's very, very gold, very shiny, which as it should be because he is a gold saint. So we got the head here with the ram horns. Got a nice design on the chest, nice design on the legs. Got a big sharp tail here. See the back end. Very, very cool. Very simple though in terms of design and just even posing, because all these cloth objects are static. You can't pose them, but that's okay. However, the pose that it's fixed in is very, very boring, I would say. There's nothing really special about this, which is why I like some of the newer cloth object designs, because they have much more, I would say, character personality, because they look much better. So I'm going to put him here, and I actually have a comparison to make just right now, because I do happen to have the Aries God Cloth with me. Just gotta make sure I grab him. So here is the Aries God Cloth, which, as I was saying, has much more character than this guy right here. So it basically looks like he's taken a step forward, grew some wings, and then he's looking back. And I feel like that is very, very cool. Now, excuse all the dust on here, because he's been sitting on my shelf for around 3 years now, I would say. But soon, I'm going to armor him up as well into the figure, so you can actually see how that looks. And yeah, I think it's a very, very nice and fitting upgrade for the Aries gold cloth right here, how it turns into the God Cloth. So let's get the God Cloth out of the way, make sure it can stand on its own because it is quite heavy. And that's good. So, as I mentioned on the box, this gold cloth actually comes with two variations of how you can assemble it. Now what you see here is the anime version of the cloth. We see we got the segmented horns and we got the ram face. Now, in order to reconfigure it into the anime version, or sorry, no, this was the manga version. This was the manga version, what they actually had in the comics and the drawings. How to make it actually look like it did in the show. What you would do is, first of all, you would pull off this head, just like that. And you would also remove this armor piece right here on the back of the neck, just like that, and leave that as is. What we're going to do now is we're going to rip off these horns, which, there we go, just like that. Now this one popped off here, so we actually need to see if we can get our nail under there and just pull out this little joint. There we go, just like that. Make sure this actually still stays inside the head, like so. And then we're going to pull this head piece off of this neck piece. So just like so. So we got that piece off. So we won't be needing this piece anymore. We're going to put that off to the side. So here we have this new headpiece. What we're going to do actually is we're going to put this back here. But before we do that, we're going to bring in our anime style horns. But there's something that I want to mention, because if you take a look at these are actually not the same color. This is gold, this is silver, and this is sadly a defect. So I guess my luck wasn't really that good. Normally these should be the same color. They should both be gold because of course he is a gold saint, but this one's silver, so that really sucks. However, I feel like for this guy, I'm probably just going to display him with the manga style horns, just to avoid the fact that I have to put on two horns that are different colors on the character. So, but what you would do for this guy is you would take the head. Now you're actually going to install the horns on backwards, because when this is on the body, it's facing this way. So this is actually on the back. So if we look at here, we see there's one dash, and one dash usually corresponds to the right side. So if we're looking at this way, this would be the right side, this would be the left side. So we're going to clip that on just like that. And we're going to do the same on the other side, clip that on just like so. And then we're going to put this piece, we're going to clip this into here. You see big peg into that hole, make sure that clicks on. And then we're going to bring in this piece again. And it's funny because this actually ends up being the face, which I really don't see how that is a face, but that's just me. So we're going to clip that on, make sure that clips on, just like so. And make sure these horns are positioned in a way where you can actually, I'm trying to see here, what's the best way to do this. And then we're going to take this peg, plug it onto the head, or sorry, the neck, like that. And here we have the Aries object mode in the anime style version. And obviously I like the other one better. Of course you can position these horns however you see fit, but definitely that does not look like a face to me. And the face is sitting right here, and I really don't know why, like I said, this is a thing. But yeah, so that's how you would do the anime configuration. So I'm gonna put that off to the side, and let's take a look at our figure. So here is Mu. Now, fun fact, when the first time I saw this guy, I thought he was a girl because of just how elegant he looked and the hair flowing down the back. But after reading up the character, I was like, oh, he's actually a guy. All the gold saints are actually guys. So you got the two little dots here, which I'm actually not sure the significance of. His hair is a little bit dirty, but he has this nice long flowing hair, which is actually very detailed. You can see all the molding detail here. He's very, very pale. But he is from Tibet, so I guess they don't get much sun there because they're really high up. Again, I'm not really sure. He has a green jumpsuit, gold feet. Now, something that I'm not really happy with is the fact that his legs are still extremely loose. Look at that. So with these revivals, most of the revivals have been pretty good in terms of their quality control, but this guy sadly just still cannot hold up his legs. The only other figure that was a revival that I had an issue with was Aphrodite, Pisces Aphrodite, which is the Pisces saint. His legs were a little bit loose, but still I don't think it was as bad as this. So I'm curious to see how he will look with his armor on, to even see if he'll be able to stand up. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to leave him here. I'm going to take all the armor off of that object mode and then arm him up, and then we'll see how Mu looks all armored up. So I'll be right back. Alright, and here we are back with Aries Mu in his gold cloth. So let's take a quick look. So you got all these nice molded detailing on the metal armor. Very, very nice. His armor, I would say, is very simple. There is a lot of markings and engravings on there, but besides that, it's pretty simple. Nothing too crazy, except for when you get up here to the head, to the shoulders area, we do have the horns of the ram kind of on his shoulders, and I think that just looks really, really nice. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the anime configuration. He has these big, smooth horns, and of course we see that this one is silver, this one is gold, and that's, as I mentioned earlier, probably due to the fact that they forgot to add a gold tint to this right horn, which kind of sucks, but I mean, it still doesn't look bad. So there's his face. So yeah, pretty nice. And again, the hair has all the molded detailing, which is very nice. So now, just like how there is with the object mode, how there's the anime and the manga configuration, we also have that ability, or I guess the option here with the figure as well. So I'm just going to bring in the other horns. Now again, these are the horns from the manga configuration. They are a little bit smaller, but they do have these segments and they're actually kind of posable, which is really nice. So how you want it is, first of all, you want to see which one is left, which one is right. So this one has one line, that's the right, and this one has two lines, so that's the left. So basically, if we want to picture it from the back, if we flip Mu around, so basically you want to kind of attach it, make sure you can stand, this way. So if this is the one with the two markings, so this would be the one on the left. So I'm going to remove these horns. And honestly, I find this easiest if we just simply rip off his head. That makes everything easier. So with that done and out of the way, we're just going to pop these horns off. Now, there we go. Sometimes they can be a little bit painful, as that little joint, as you see, tends to pop out with it. But that's okay. All you have to do is just get your fingernail under it and just pop out that little joint. And since we're here, I'm just gonna, whoops, don't lose that. I'm gonna show you the options that they actually came with. So they also came with two little joints as well, but these ones actually don't have a hinge to it. It's all just one solid piece. So instead of having a hinge that can kind of hinge back and forth, this is simply just one solid piece. Now personally, I prefer the one with the hinge because that allows for more movement and more, I would say, better dynamic motion, especially when he's doing one of his action poses. You can kind of get the horn up and out of the way in more of a natural kind of positioning rather than just something that's solid and stiff. So let's get this little joint back in here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our this is the manga configuration of the horns. That had to take me a while. So again, make sure this is the right side. You can see that one line right there. We're just going to plop that on just like that. We're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to plop that right on just like that. And then we're going to bring it forward and make sure everything kind of just looks right. Now, since the head is off, I'm going to take the option or the time to show you all the different hairstyles that Mu has. So first of all, we have this face. This is the regular face. We also have three different faces. We have a screaming face. Actually, it looks more like he's happy. We have a closed eye face. And we also have a slight smiling face. I know it's hard to see because he is very, very pale. Now to change these heads, all we're going to do is we're going to pop off this front hairpiece, and then we're going to pop this face off. Make sure we leave that stock in. And then we're going to take, let's see, the smiling face, and we're just going to take these two pegs, plop them into those two holes, just like so. And if we take our hairpiece back and plug it in, this is how we would change the face for Mu. However, Mu comes with a crap load of different hairstyles. So this is his regular style that comes out of the box. He has one that has a ponytail, which is really cool. And all we have to do for this is simply just pop everything off, take off this back piece, and just bring in this new piece, plop it on, peg it in, and here we have Mu with a ponytail. And let's actually plop this one back on. So line everything up and just plop it on, just like so. And here we have Mu with the anime style or the manga style horns, as well as a new face and a new hairstyle. And this new hairpiece is actually, this bottom piece is on a ball hinge, so it can kind of move up and down, twist side to side. So you can get some pretty dynamic poses out of the hair with this one. So that is that. Now let's get these hair pieces out of the way because we got more stuff. There's another hair piece, this big, nice flowing hair piece, which is actually meant to be used with a special attack that involves him and 2 other gold saints known as the Athena exclamation. He's the one that's in the center. He's kneeling on the ground. He's putting his hands in kind of like a Kamehameha position, and his hair would be flowing up. Or I guess you could just use this for when he's throwing one of his big attacks and everything is just kind of just flowing up. And yeah. So pretty cool. You can attach it the same way as you would the other ones. Just pop off that back hair piece and just plug this on. So there's that one. Now he comes with 2 extra hair pieces. If we see, this one is only has a hole in it, and this is actually meant to sit under his neck. And we also have another piece, which we see is just a little strand of hair, and this one plugs onto the top of his head. And these hairs are actually meant to be used with his helmet. So we see here, this is his helmet. Very, very cool. Almost has Spartan vibes to it. Excuse me. This is a nice crest on the back and these little wings on the side. It has a little greenish blue jewel in the front as well. And to put on this helmet, what we're actually going to do, first of all, is we're going to remove all the hair off of Mu. And while we're at it, we're going to rip off his head one more time. Make sure you can stand good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this headstock with this post, we're going to put it through this hole. And then we're going to plop this piece back onto the neck there, just like that. And then we're going to take our little hair piece, we're going to take these 2 pegs, and we're going to plug them onto the 2 holes on the top of his head right here. So we're going to line that up just like that. Make sure that fits down all the way. And last, what we're going to do is we're going to put this helmet on his head. However, with these wings here, it makes it very hard to actually put this on because you have to kind of stretch it. So what I tend to do is I just pop off one of these wings. See, it's just little pegs here, and it pegs into the side. This allows me to kind of slant, go on an angle, put it on his head, and then we're going to take this little post in there, you see? We're going to plug that onto that big hole on the top of his head. So make sure everything's aligned well. We're going to take the helmet, put it on, make sure it pegs on. It doesn't really want to peg on securely, but it kind of fits on there just like that. And then we're going to take these 2 pegs, peg them into these 2 holes to kind of block that helmet into place. Just like that. And here we have Aries Mu with his helmet. And yeah, pretty cool. Just take a look all the way around. You see the hair kind of just comes out the back. Looks very nice. So there is that. I think we're finally done with all the different hairs and the helmets. So yay! Now on to the hands. So in addition to the fists that we have on him right now, we also come with an additional 3 sets of hands. We have these open palm hands. We have these half relaxed palm claw hands. And then we also have these 2 hands with holes in them, and these are actually meant to be used with these tools, a hammer and a chisel. Now this is because the Aries saint throughout history has always been the one to repair the cloths. Anytime there was something happening or something wrong with any one of the cloths with any of the saints, he would be the one to repair them. So here we get the hammer and the chisel, and these are both made out of die cast, which is very nice. And obviously to put these on, we would simply just feed this through the hand. We can actually kind of stretch this open a little bit. And let's just put on one of his hands just to show you how it's done. So we're gonna pop off this hand here. Just rip that right off. Make sure he can stand because I don't like this guy's joints. He has horrible joints. We're going to take this hand armor, we're going to pop that right off, and then we're going to put it onto this hand right here 2 pegs, 2 holes, or 2 slots rather, and then we're going to plop that on, and then attach this hand onto that little ball joint. Again, not the easiest sometimes, but that's okay, just like that. And here we have Aries Mu with the chisel in hand. And make sure he can still stand. So there is that. So you can take a look here. So I think we're finally done with all the little accessories. Now, being a gold saint, of course, he comes with a standard cape for all these gold saints. Blue on the inside, white on the outside. This have a little bit of shading. I don't know if you can see that, just from here kind of downwards. And he also has these 2 little joints here to be used with the horns. Now, what we're going to do is, again, I find it easiest to simply just rip off his head, but you do want to be careful. You don't want to break anything. So that came off fairly easily. Very good. I'm going to put the head and the hair off to the side. Next, we're going to take this little ram head, and you can see that kind of a head. I'm going to pop that right off, and that is actually the little clip that clicks into the back to secure everything in place. So with that out of the way, we're going to take these horns, we're going to pop them off. There's one, there's the other, and then we won't be needing this little piece anymore. We're going to bring in our cape, and then we're going to snap these horns on the cape, so make sure the sides do line up again. Just pop that on just like that. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Make sure that plops on just like so. And then we are going to put this peg into his back. Make sure everything lines up. Give that a click, make sure that clicks in, which it did, very nice. And then we're gonna bring our head back. And here we have Aries Mu with the helmet, the cape, the manga style horns, as well as the chisel. Yeah, I think it looks very, very nice. Again, if he can stand, just to show you how bad the legs are. Do you see that? That is absolutely horrible. They really should have tightened the joints up, especially on this revival figure. They've been doing well with most of them so far. I just don't know why they decided to go backwards with this guy. It really sucks. But yeah, so... Oh wait, there's one more accessory. Now, this is the accessory that came with him because this is the revival version. This is the reissue. And obviously, they want to give you something special. That's something that the original version did not have. And this here is Kiki. This is the apprentice of Aries Mu, the future gold saint of Aries. See here, very, very nicely sculpted and painted. We have some nice shading here on the leg. Oh, sorry, on the belt area. We got these nice painting, detailing here on the eyes. These little, I still don't know what they are. And then as well as some nice wash on this little base here, which is actually a separate piece. It came separately. You see we got 2 holes, 2 little tabs on the base, and we just plug that in and have him stand on it. So yeah, just a little 360 of that. And the bottom, and this is one solid piece, so you're not getting any kind of articulation out of it. But it's very nice that they included something like this to kind of make this reissue set special. So let's put him off to the back here. Let's move Aries Mu back a little bit, and let's get some comparisons going. So here, I have him next to Aries Xion. Now, Aries Xion is the previous gold saint of Aries before Aries Mu. He is actually the master of Aries Mu. Now, the reason why he's wearing this purple armor, now the purple armor is known as a surplice, and is actually the armor of the undead army of Hades, god of the underworld. Here we can just take a look at how this master and student look next to each other. We can see that it's clearly the same cloth. Sorry, don't mind all the dog hair and dust on here because he's been on my shelf for quite a while. We do see the horns, very similar, but yet different. These ones are definitely much more spikier and curvy. And all the armor on this guy is definitely spikier as well. But without a doubt, this is the Aries Cloth as well. So yeah. Again, he also has those 2 little dots next to his eyes. I just don't know. I think it's a thing. So just to show off here, we have Master Student and Grand Student. But here we have the family line of Aries. So let's get that out of the way. Let's bring Xion out of the way as well. And next what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the God Cloth of Aries. Now here I have Aries, this is Aries Mu still. This is from the Soul of Gold miniseries. As we saw earlier, I compared the two object modes for these guys, but now we can actually see the two armored up modes for these guys. Excuse me. You can see the horns, definitely. This is the Aries Cloth, no doubt. We got these big horns. These are actually bigger than even the surplus version. But the helmet, too, we got that big crest in the middle. We got these spikes on the side, as well as these little horns in front. We got the chest armor, as well as this crotch armor, which actually has that same kind of shape as well. Definitely... We got the wings on this side, which definitely look way better for the God Cloth. And of course, all the molded detailing and coloring is just accentuated as it should be on a God Cloth. But besides that, everything else is pretty similar between these two. So bringing this guy off to the side. So yeah, oops, that thing slipped out of his hand. Make sure you can still hold it. Good, so this is a very, very nice figure, a very much needed reissue of this figure, because the original version of this guy, I think, was actually the second Gold Saint, and actually even the second Saint Seiya Saint Cloth Myth EX figure to be released. So to actually look for this guy on the secondary market, the original version is pretty much next to impossible because it's extremely expensive to find. And with this new reissue, it really just gives us collectors, especially the ones that haven't had a chance to get this guy, a chance to get this. So now the cons, obviously, the legs are really, really loose, and I feel like they definitely should have done a little bit more to tighten up this guy's legs, because this is 2021 now. We are 10 years after the original release of this line, and to have these joints still be like this is just, there's no excuse for that. So, but besides that fact, very, very nice. So if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. And until next time, guys, take care. Bye.